We've been surprised before. We can be surprised once again. Let's see. Maybe the Chalice Omni Knight is exactly what they needed. And it is Chalice after all, I feel like. The last game he had decent impact on the Timber, perhaps not as much as he wanted to. This time around, I'm sure he's going to have fun. If nothing else, he's playing Omni Knight, so...
Omni Knight. Well, to be fair, he was one of the first people within China to start rolling with this Omni. It was him and XXX a few years ago. So he certainly is practiced at this hero. Reflection now goes out onto Lu. They're trying to slow down the Naga, looking for a potential first blood here. But this is Naga. She is super speedy. Turns out in Dota 2, not having legs makes you even faster, so I think she'll be fine.
Where does she, if she doesn't have legs, where does she put her boots on?
On her fins, I guess? Like, instead of boots, she gets fin coverings?
That you're cheating. She's buying boots. So you're imagining something like slide-on boots, right? That adjust to the shape. Okay, I see.
DUI will end up having to adjust to Azure Ray, or at least adjust to the fountain, as he has to go take a trip there. Tianming gets the first blood. Unfortunately for us, though, no Glaives of Wisdom, so no bonus intel just yet. Feels bad.
Our dear observer says it's on the head. She puts the shoes on the head. Thank you, Scriff. Always valuable input. What do you think?
By the way, yeah?
Yeah, it's a good old memes.
The Mei-Meis. So let's see what happens. Top lane, looks like Tianming might end up dead again. Well, he hasn't died just yet, but JT really wants to bring him down. Kaka already used the blood grenade.
Got him.
But they got him. And it's the duo that you wanted. Batrider and Timbersaw. This does not feel like a fun lane to play into.
It isn't a fun lane. And if Timber is getting a good start, he'll be zoning both of you out very, very soon. They want to take down Naga even. One more Whirling Death, and I guess with Mirror Image, she heals up, gets those stats back. Does she? She does, right?
What?
Does she get rid of Whirling Death as she uses Mirror Image? She does, right?
She should, yeah. It does give the dispel, yeah. So she's Gucci, she's chilling. Down bottom, we see them trying to apply pressure with FY and Chalice. I suppose the one thing that does kind of suck about having an off-lane Omni Knight is that lane pressure is non-existent from this hero.
Is it? You think it's non-existent? I feel like...
against TB techies, I feel like... Yeah.
Against TB techies, yeah. I can see it being difficult, but if meta is used and meta goes away, I feel like at level 3, FY and Chalice can actually do some damage. Because you shouldn't be able to blast off in this lane as well. Maybe you should be, because Illuminate is skilled up by FY. He didn't go for Blinding Light.
Right now, he's actually far away from Chalice, so Chalice is in danger, eating hits from this Metamorphosis. DY, I don't think we'll have enough stun for this. So Chalice will just get zoned back with the H-Grace.
I feel bad for Chalice if this Illuminate... Oh, top lane. Oh, Kaka dies.
Dead. Ooh. That's a very big kill, because this is the side of the map that they were supposed to be applying constant pressure. So now they can't. JT needs to be careful. He's actually going to get caught with the Arcane Curse, Blood Grenades, some right clicks from Lu, and Naga finishes him off.
And that all came because they were too greedy. They tried to dive the tower to kill off Silencer. He survives. Oh, that's a bad way to make a sure thing. Lost in mid lane.
What?
Paparazzi gets the kill, yeah.
Looks like Kaka helped him though. Yeah. I thought it was a 1v1 kill, but Flame Break was used in that situation. So far, it was a very even mid lane matchup, so Paparazzi, he was a little bit behind, so we'll certainly be glad for the help.
Yeah, nice rotation by Kaka. Knows that JT, after he TP stopped, the lane is pushing in. Doesn't really need any help. Plus, you refill the bottle mid. I just love how they combo all of these things together, and it feels like it's not on purpose, but It can
High-level Dota is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
These intuitive plays, when you see good stuff like this.
DY.
Okay, I thought Techies was going to die, but he's okay.
Okay, so one thing that I'm worried about this bottom lane is first FY is going to drop low.
H-Grace keeps him alive for now. DY is still not dead. He will eventually die, but FY goes out first, so the experience goes back towards the Techies. However, without the Techies being around, Ghost does have to be careful 1v1 with the Omni Knight.
Yeah. The mid lane TP now from the silencer, or was it just a rotation? I feel like a rotation. Yeah, he just moved in, stole the creep wave away from Storm. Meanwhile, Techies refilling paparazzi, and look at this blast off actually.
I don't know about this one though, because DY, he blasted off, yes, but he might be blasting off like Team Rocket, because he ends up killed by Somnus. Okay. Somnus is just like, bro, don't you want to try that again? I could use the free gold.
That's not a hero that you really want to be blasting off into. Like Storm embraces him. Yeah, please come, boy. Here you go. Static Remnant, Electric Cortex, Overload. Enjoy.
For Somnus and the boys, this game is of utmost importance. If they lose game 2, major ambitions will be over. So these kind of plays will really make a huge difference down the line.
Yeah, can you zone out JT at this point? Maybe you still can. He doesn't have the Vitality booster, which he will have
God,
in a
look
second.
at Lou.
Yep.
Lou's like, oh, no HP. Fortunately for them, JT doesn't have a point in Timber Chain. That was very, very scary for the Naga Siren.
Yeah, he can't even approach the creep wave. And it's pushing,
meantime,
so yeah.
They're going middle again onto Somnus. And this time around, though, they do catch him without having access to level 6, but he still finds the kill first onto Kaka. So although he dies, he gets 6 off of this, so when he comes back, he's fully topped up. Not the worst thing in the world for Somnus in the mid. Bottom, though, FY will end up dead towards the right clicks from this Ghost TB action pack game. So very different from game 1, Liz. At this point, we had, what, 2 kills game 1? Now we have 11.
Yeah, much better. Storm, let's see if he TP's mid. He's deciding at the moment. Okay, he TP's mid. He's got that level 6 that you mentioned, so can do a lot with it. By the way, I was worried for Chalice on the offlane. I thought maybe because Kotl is going to Illuminate, he won't be finding that much farm. You're just pushing in, and Omni, I feel like this hero truly needs farm. And overall, he hasn't found it. Not a lot, at least. It hasn't been an easy lane.
We'll see what he can do in terms of recovery. Although you don't necessarily think of Omni Knight when you think about recovery heroes. But it's Chalice. Chalice is a master of being able to turn a terrible lane into a good game. And the lane has not been terrible by any stretch of imagination. So
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what he does. On the other side, though, DUI going to steal a Wisdom Rune. And even if he dies for this, he'll be fine. But he might not even die. Just gets out safely.
Yeah, he's going to survive. Kaka takes the other one, so huge win for XG supports. Chalice, I feel like... Let's see, can he help Ghost? The kill on Ghost, that is.
Gonna try for it right now as they want to really run in onto the tier 1 tower. Sadly, they can't get there. Somnus now trying to run himself away from paparazzi. Does barely get out. FY, him and Chalice do their utmost to keep Somnus alive, and they do succeed. However, it is a wasted move from the Storm Spirit. And the worst part about this is that Ghost going back to doing exactly what he was already doing, just casually farming under the tower.
Yeah, kind of lucky and unlucky at the same time. Unlucky that he didn't kill the TB, very lucky that he survives in the end, right? So, net loss, I would say, because you rotated, you're completely right. And Chalice is going to go for the Harpoon build, by the way, on Omni. So when you talked about recovery, there is no recovery. You need to be, like, Omni Knight right now with the Harpoon is not like old school Omni that just sits behind someone, heals him up, or brings utility to fights. No. This is a guy that wants to be a playmaker very early on. Kaka.
Speaking of plays being made, Somnus going in yet again with the Storm Spirit, finding Kaka and killing him off. Paparazzi showed up to this fight as well with a haste rune, but he could still end up dead. Needs to be careful about this. JT diving in as well to assist Paparazzi with potentially killing off FY. And with
Nice
the blast
blast
off, they make it happen. The techie is showing up to this fight at the exact right moment. We have a blood grenade thrown out. Aether Remnant coming back in 3 seconds. So I think Tianming is probably dead here. They don't even need that spell. They just mop him up with JT.
Somnus might rejoin though. He sees DY, maybe because there is Chalice behind him with some heals.
Let's see if he wants to go in with this hammer. But they don't have a clean angle. JT holding the angle on the ramp that doesn't allow them in. In fact, they just turn a jump onto Chalice. He doesn't have access to the GA, so he's just gonna die in the river.
Yeah, I feel like Omni Knight at this point is really damn strong, but they aren't committing, so he's kind of left all alone and looks just silly, right? Meanwhile, TB is taking down your tower on the offlane. And this is pretty much terrible for Azure Ray. They need to find a way to utilize the Omni Knight and play with him, because like you said, this isn't a comeback hero. He's building a halberd, he's got phases. It's not like he's gonna go and farm some stacks.
Stupendous.
So far, not so great for Azure Ray.
He's what, 700 gold above of his silencer?
Yeah. Silencer, speaking of him, might get a stack here or might end up dead. Both could still happen. They end up first killing off DY and trying to extend the chase further. Silencer doesn't have Glaives of Wisdom because Tianming hates that spell, so 0 intel for him.
Yeah, I have to say this was very necessary. Just bring 4 heroes and play together, because at this point, Chalice, you talked about the comeback mechanics. It's going to be very difficult for him to do that. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Timber just pushing in. He doesn't care. And he's killable with Global and Storm, I feel like, but it's a lot of commitment that needs to be made.
He's unfortunately for them having one of those Timber games where 10 minutes in, he's net with leader. Lu can't farm the lane anymore. We're going to start taking over the side of the map. And to make that easier for them, XG actually smoke up, hoping to catch Lu potentially farming the jungle. Kaka is here with Lasso. No blink, however, so he's going to rely on Paparazzi to set him up. They don't have any visionless, so it doesn't seem like they're going to find anybody.
Well, they have Arcane Rune and still some of that smoke left remaining. FI and Somnus, they jump
Somnus jumps actually onto Kaka, finds him first, and they just quickly kill off this Batrider. At the same time, we did have the Silencer getting jumped on and assassinated. However, he might have created the opening for AR to avenge him. Ghost also here for the fight with the Metamorphosis. Nice little blast off from DY. Lands onto Chalice, who's also here for this fight with the Omni Knight. Doesn't have any items to his name just yet, but does at least still have some spells to try and elongate this fight. But because he doesn't have any damage, there's Terrorblade and there's Timber. Right now, they don't actually fear him. They can post up knowing all these heroes are here and still just take the tower for free.
Oh, there's no global, right? So JT is able to just sit in front.
They get the tower. Can Somnus at least avenge this? JT fell a bit low, but nothing too significant. Kaka does find the last 2 out onto Chalice, and they kill him off well before he can respond to this. Paparazzi jumping in, looking for another victim. 2 seconds until they have access to the Aether Remnant. Don't even need it for FY. They could deploy it onto Somnus or Tianming. JT is fairly low. Needs to be careful about his position in this fight, but ultimately, they end up escaping, and Azure Ray do not have the tools to keep up the chase.
Yeah, you could really feel like the only reason why that fight in the jungle didn't go that well for them is because the Batrider got killed off first. Kaka on this bat, he's the one that brings this draft together, because they have a ton of damage, but they don't have a lot of control. The moment he is in the fight, though, the moment he uses that lasso on the Omni Knight, they have the damage and the control, and they take a decisive fight. Now, that worries me maybe a little bit for XG's late game. If Omni Knight is in position, he should be able to, just use his Heavenly Grace and kill the targets up, save them from the bat.
Speaking of saving people, sometimes people on the map get saved with spells, and other times they get saved with game sense. Somebody on XG triggered off a scam that caught Azure Ray flush with all 3 of their heroes. So the smoke gank goes absolutely nowhere. JT gets to keep farming the top lane. And they even brought like DY and Paparazzi not far away in case he does need the support anyway.
Sometimes people don't want to be saved at all.
You don't want to be saved.
I'm not going deep with this. I'm not going emo with this. It's just in my pubs. Storm mid.
Storm mid will find himself in a spot of bother, just trying to zone back Paparazzi so he doesn't kill off Tianming. In the top lane, we saw them chasing JT, or with JT and DY. But it is a Coddle, not the easiest hero to kill. With movement speed, 5 seconds until he has move, but top mid lane, what? Somnus dies. He got caught out. Kaka again, proving his value in this game.
Yeah, got in there clutch and gets rewarded by Gaben. You know, when you're having a good game, Gaben sees it. He's like, drop a region rune right now. So supposed to be illusion rune, Papa Gabe. No region rune for him, straight away. Kotl, oh, almost caught.
Oh, so close. Paparazzi, as you said, after he finishes Echo Saber, he can start leading into building the Manta style. That'll assist him dealing with the global from Azure Ray.
I mean, while Chal is still building a halberd, how much is it gonna do, really? Like, sometimes I see these Omni Knights really pop off, get the halberd early on, and then they're just in your face. There's nothing you can do about him. But can he actually be in your face against the Timber TB? I'm not sure. I feel like he's gonna get swatted down like a bug.
Well, at least the Echo Saber is arriving. So he has something. For me, the biggest problem is that up until this point, Chalice literally had no items in his inventory. Does have one now. Unfortunately for him, his counterpart on the other side of the map also just picked up a very useful item in this Yule Scepter.
He should force one of his supports to buy a shard, and then they can kill the Tormentor, and he has the chance of getting the Aghanim shard instead of buying it. I think the Sax shard on him makes him tankier than he looks. It's pretty nice.
We'll see now XG thinking of and potentially going into the Roshan pit. And they go for the big man ghost this year. Yeah, they're actually going for it. They have meta.
No. I mean, they can, but they're not. This isn't that safe. I feel like it's one of those plays that can. They're going in. Like, this could be. If they check Rosh, this could be huge for AR.
It really could. Global Silence was popped right now, but they haven't actually found a big target just yet. They first go on to DY, who did scout on the high ground with the sticky bomb. And Lu trying to catch a bigger target. Ghost is literally going to TP out in front of his face. That was optimistic and ambitious to say the least. And he might end up punished super hard for this one. Somnus is here onto Ghost. The Terror Blade is down. JT won't be allowed to escape either, as Somnus gets a triple kill off of this. And Lu once more goes forward with the song. They need a 4-star for something. They need to get him closer to Kaka. But Kaka has Blink, so he should end up living here.
I don't know what that call was, but you could hear the worries in my voice, right? Even as they went into the pit. That was very cocky. TB doesn't even have a Manta. He doesn't have that ultimate orb. Just Yasha and Dragonlance to work with. They were in a good spot. I'm not sure why they forced Rosh the way they did. 0 pickoffs, they weren't showing on the map, so AR pretty much knew that something was up. They had to. They had global as well. So you're forcing a big objective versus a team that should be wanting to fight at that point. Now the game has... Like, it has evened out completely.
I would, right now, be very, very, very annoyed with ourselves if I'm an Xtreme Gaming player. However, there's still room and time for recovery. Right now, what's also really problematic is everything that's happened also gave Lu a ton of net worth on his Naga Siren. So he's not that far away from having this Orchid into the heart. So he can actually start playing Dota. And DY's death will help to contribute to that effort. The killer's credited towards Chalice. That'll get him closer towards his Harpoon.
Yeah, he's got the shard as well, by the way. So it's not... This Echo Saber is not the only thing that he's got in his inventory. He bought the shard, so shard on top of the Harpoon very soon. The
Harpoon Omni Knight.
No, it's really good. It's scary. He's just running you down. He'll see. If he manages to utilize it, Paparazzi
I'm very excited to see this. Paparazzi does have DD, so he can jump the Storm Spirit or jump the Silencer and kill him off while Storm is trying to deal with Timber. Timber did fall very low, but Somnus expended pretty much all his mana for this one, so he might not be able to find this. He does eventually get the kill. And they come in with the GA as well to ensure he doesn't die. Long zip from Somnus. He's chasing after Paparazzi as well. He really wants this kill. Lou is here looking for the ensnare. Will not be able to find it though because Paparazzi just heads up, outplays him. And they kill off Somnus and take the Aegis away too.
So they lost Timber for Silencer and Aegis. I feel like maybe that's a decent trade for XG because you don't have to worry about that huge Aegis being utilized against you. However, Storm and the boys smoke up. They're looking for another kill. Kaka is in such a good spot to break the smoke. If he leaves it though, let's see, they see him. He's on a ward.
Yeah, he is. He gets zipped on directly and he will be killed off. Still though, he's not. It's not the worst hero to bring down. If you're going to lose somebody on XG, better him than someone else. But on the bright side for them, JT is still in the mid lane, so is positioned to potentially protect the tower. As I say that though, he didn't have any reactive armor stacks, so they just blow him up in an instant, Lizard. That's actually so smart from Azure Ray to know that he's going to be weak right now.
Yeah. What do you think? Why is the Timber building Yules this game over Lotus? What's the reasoning?
Maybe eventually wants Wind Waker. I don't know.
That's yeah. Just interesting to me. I feel like Lotus would have been better here.
Hold on, there's another good thing, right? It's that, and he has this
Dispel.
way. It's Omni Knight Dispel and Aether Remnants set up, so Voidspray doesn't have to do it himself.
Yeah, I feel like it might be the Omni Knight thing a bit more than anything else. Because Lotus for me feels you're playing versus Storm versus Naga, it feels maybe a bit better. But okay, yeah, they lost the control that they gained from the good laning stage, I feel like, on XG. It's still not a bad place to be in. TB is still farming up very well, but he did fall behind Naga by 3k now. Naga almost
has
completed
a heart
that.
almost.
Yeah.
And where's TB in his farm routes? He's still going into a butterfly for himself. So she'll have butterfly, she'll have heart. She'll be tankier, but killing him will not be easy. And right now, XG, they want to set up for some kills potentially onto Somnus. Kaka, he dove forward, but Somnus outplays him with the zip away. He might still end up dead though. Global Silence will emerge to protect the Storm Spirit. And they kill off Kaka. That was nicely done by Azure Ray. They were Somnus, dude, where's this guy's reactions from? He's from the future, this guy.
Yeah, he's playing on the server side. You can never catch him fast enough. Smoke.
4 heroes were smoked up here. Paparazzi waiting on the high ground, breaks the rest of the smokes. They jump onto JT and they kill him off again. Look how quickly he's dying. Blast off will be there. JT gets bought time. And he does now zip himself away. The Omni Knight will turn around and kill off DY. So Techies gives up his life for the cause. Make sure his fellow Goblin ends up surviving. But man, this damage output onto Timbersaw is really problematic right now.
I feel like they just don't have enough sustain as well on XG to deal with what Azure Ray is bringing. And Azure Ray, on the other hand, with the Omni Knight, even if they dive, even if they make a mistake or two, he's just there to heal them up. Heavenly Grace, Purification. They can just continue fighting.
All right, I'm hyped now. With this Harpoon being available for Chalice, I just want to see them fight. I really want to see this. I'm excited. You've gassed me up, Liz.
Yeah, I want to see the same from XG. They need to... But the problem for them is, if they want to fight, they can either do this... They have to smoke. And
Look at this. Silencer breaks the smoke, gets some additional vision down as well. Should die for this, but hashtag worth. Nobody else will get taken out. And I'm not sure they saw him actually planting down the Observer Ward, so this might stand for quite some time, giving some really excellent vision to Azure.
Yeah, hashtag excellent word, I would say, for Silencer. He still didn't have global, so this death not really that important for him. And for Xtreme Gaming, they need to get more of these smoke plays. I feel like that's the only way they play the map at the moment. Smoke with lasso, kill off someone, go back to farming, rinse and repeat.
They do have Global Silence back online now for Azure Ray, so such plays very hard to accomplish if you don't find Tianming. Silencer, what a hero. What a hero right now. I just love the ebbs and flows of Dota. And you know, we were talking about like how the game has so much far fewer stuns, and how with stuns being less prevalent, slows and the like gain an extra value. That also means silencers become super high value because all of their values were left unchanged.
Yeah, I agree. The courier was flying out to JT and he doesn't have a TP now. He's scouted and I believe this is a dead Timber. Just a matter of time.
Oh no. Feels bad, man. He's gonna try his best to get away from this, but you know, you were mentioning earlier for Kaka, sometimes things are just going so well. You get a nice kill, Gaben rewards you with a rune. While other times, Gaben punishes you. He's like, oh, you're bringing a courier? Tough luck, buddy. Why didn't you have a TP already?
Paparazzi?
Papa has an astral step and dissimulates.
They're still global.
Back again in 10 seconds. They indeed is still global. He actually used the astral step. He's gonna die. He's gone. Wow. Okay, Somnus. Him and Chalice are just on it today in this second game.
He's on it and he's also on Arcane Rune, which was a major help in that hunt. So Void Spirit unfortunately dies immediately after Timber does on top lane. You're also being pushed in. Lou is going for your Tormentor.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, like this game felt like in a good spot. Then they do that one rush fight and everything changes from that point. Now they're 10k behind.
Yeah.
And Timber is the one that feels like Omni Knight felt, right? Like Omni felt, yeah, I can't really do a lot, whatever. Well, Timber was a beast, and now Timber just feels irrelevant. And I still don't agree with the Yules. I'm sorry. I feel rare thing from JT. I think Lotus was just as good. The bonus armor would have been nice as well.
Bonus armor would be good. A potential reflection on Electric Vortex would be hilarious. But none of those are available. His team will smoke, though. They come across Lou, who does trigger off the song. 3 heroes caught indirectly, and they could fight on top of this. They do have the Global Silence as well if they want to try and trigger it off. They haven't decided to use it just yet. Somnus is coming in for a pincer maneuver, goes directly onto DY. They want the techies, and they should be able to get him during the Global Silence. At the same time, they're now thinking about aggressing into Ghost. Chalice wanted to try and find him, but forced to pop the GA. This meta putting in some work right now on their behalf. On the back edge of the fight, Paparazzi blinks in and kills off the Silencer. Nicely done, but the question is, can he escape? Astral Step available again in 1 second, but it comes a little bit too late. He had no Manta to dispel the Orchid, and he does end up dead.
Yeah, they have all the Yule Scepters to dispel Omni Knight spells, but they don't even matter at some point. Like, you just cannot fight. He pops the GA at the same time as Global, and you're thinking, okay, do I Yule myself to dispel the Global, or do I Yule the target that my TB is hitting to dispel something from the Omni so that he can actually make a difference in fights? And this Omni Knight very neatly, like I was talking about Bat and how he put everything together for Radiant. I feel like Omni Knight is doing the same for Dire at this point. He's also just, you know, chilling in the pit.
Hanging out.
He's had a hard day at work. He can relax a little bit.
Roshan comes literally as Lou comes through the twin gate. So, perfect time to arrive. Xtreme Gaming nowhere near being positioned enough to contest this. And unlike what we saw with the other Roshan attempt, there's no way that you're gonna get up getting triple kills. So it's a free Aegis and Shees for Azure Ray. Where's Somnus at, actually? He's too far away, so maybe they can't give him the Aegis. That's the one thing that does kind of suck about the situation.
He's got a Revenant's Brooch, by the way. He queued up Shivas before, but decided to switch things up a little bit, be more aggressive. And you are playing into a TB and a Timber, right? This is Super value.
He did this the other day as well. I think he's the only one to have done it. Just a heads up rush into Revenant's Brooch after finishing in Kai Assange. Even pre-BKB or anything.
That just speaks a lot about the confidence that he has at the moment when it comes to this game.
And then his 2 crew is smoked up, heading out onto the map. Doesn't seem like they're going to find anybody immediately, but if they go deeper, they might come across JT and the boys. And they're going to go all the way across. I mean, Lou does have access to the Song of the Siren. They have Global. Somnus just zips in. He's not scared of anything right now. Even without the Aegis, he feels pretty much immortal. He jumps onto Kaka and kills him off. And the rest of XG, let this happen. They just back off.
Yeah, he's got cheese. I guess that's why. Song, they are trying to find JT, but this should not be a catch, right? Like
It's too far.
Is he? He's too far, yeah. Storm top lane, oh my god, forced to use cheese, damn.
Oh my goodness.
If Paparazzi was just a tiny little bit quicker, like he was just a tiny little bit quicker with using DD, it's hard, right? Like, you don't expect it.
Yeah. It's hard to know exactly what's up down bottom. We have a drag back onto Lou. He does have the Aegis and will end up dead. So Paparazzi is able to use a double damage rune onto the Naga. And she's already expended Song trying to kill JT. So I'm not sure this is the safest place to be for Azure Ray right now. They're still going to stick around, slowly sieging the tier 3 tower. DY only returning in about 30 seconds. If he was here, maybe Azure Ray reconsider their stance. But as he does come closer to respawning, they don't want to take any additional risks and they just back off. Very good for Xtreme Gaming, keeping the tier 3 tower not just alive, but incredibly healthy as well.
Yeah, it's about the health, not about the life, right? Like, what good is a long life if your health is bad? Am I right, Snare?
There we go.
Yeah, and their health overall is not that great, being 15k behind, if you can look at it that way. But they are finding some items, like Nullifier, soon to be purchased by Paparazzi, or at least the Sacred Relic. TB, what's he getting? He's going towards MKB as well. Getting some damage, extra damage versus Naga. They also took down the cheese, took down the Aegis, so all things considered, they didn't get punished by that second rush way too hard.
Second Aegis to the game, of course. Went to the Naga sign instead of Somnus, which we normally expect. By the way, Somnus, with his Revenant's Brooch, he beat his own record and is now 3rd fastest builder of this item ever. What a legend. What a ledge.
So he remains the 3rd fastest. He just beat his own record, right?
No, before he was 5th, and then he beat his record of 5th.
Okay. I see.
Also, what's interesting is that 2 of those top 5s came from this DPC in China. One from Somnus and one from Sumail on the Storm Spirit. And Somnus does have Aghanim Scepter right now, so their team fight prowess on Azure Ray is now really much higher than it was beforehand.
Yeah, Kaka's smoke got broken, but he wasn't sure if he wanted to go on that illusion or not. Decides not to in the end. They did prove that they can kill the Naga, but that was on the high ground, and she was alone.
She's not alone right now in front of the tier 2 tower. In fact, her allies are all around her. JT trying to zip himself away, but unfortunately it does get cancelled, and the global silence prevents reinforcement, so he will end up dead. He does have access to buyback if he feels it necessary. So it's not like the Azure Ray lineup has opened up a golden ticket to the high ground. You still have to work for this one.
You know, we were hyping Sumail's Storm quite a lot, but this is up there in performance, and I feel like Storm... Yeah, he gets banned from time to time because of certain picks, but I feel like this hero should be banned more often, it feels like.
Storm Spirit, man. What a hero. He's doing his thing right now, building into a Lincoln Sphere. Him and Lou are going to take down the racks because they deem it necessary to hold on to JT's buyback. So he'll have that potentially for a second defense. But from now on out, you are playing at least up against one lane of super creeps. Game is difficult, so they do have some decent fighting items, but man, they just don't have vision on the map right now. They're being controlled in. And honestly, we see yet again a different game that the influence of the silencer becomes a huge problem. Just him being alive stops so many attempts on the lives of the enemy cores. And Omni Knight as well is putting in a lot of value by being super hard to kill and making the whole team hard to kill.
Yeah, there's just a lot of difficulties that they're facing this Omni Knight, the global silence, right? Illusions pushing into you all the time. And what do you get to rely on? You get to rely on TB, who's building the MKB. So maybe that's going to be enough. At least it's some damage that's going to help you out. But one other thing is JT, he just doesn't feel like that beast of a Timbersaw. Naga is, together with Remnant's Brooch on Storm Spirit, they're just chewing through him.
TB building into MKB right now to try and deal with the butterfly that's been purchased up by this Naga Siren.
Just got it right, like it's flying out, yeah.
That means he doesn't have buyback available, so if he dies, the game ends, basically.
Yeah, this is one of those timings where first then you're TB, right? Like you're using meta anyway. If you die, you don't have meta, you're probably losing that fight as well with the buyback. And secondly, I really think that they need to clutch some things out and come back into the match. They smoke up.
Looking for a clutch catch, but unfortunately for them, nobody's home. But as I say that, Azure Ray take a trip through the Twin Gates. So they could potentially catch somebody here. Somnus reveals himself on the creep wave.
But
Kaka's a bit too far away, and Omni Knight is right there. They realize it. DY goes in with the Glimmer Cape, gets some vision down and scouts out the Omni, but better yet, it scouts out FY. They kill him off during the global, but Somnus goes in, finds the blue hole onto the Terrorblade and the Timber. Both of them, though, can turn and fight. They get the meta out. Lasso from Kaka drags back Chalice, and they kill him off. Lose here with Song, but the Terrorblade can still dish out some damage thanks to this BKB. Ultimately, though, Azure Ray, they did lose two, and now they're looking for a third one. Can they catch Lu indeed? Chalice not going to be here to bail him out. And they find the Yule's catch onto Lu. Naga Siren all alone, all surrounded, and she should be killed off unless Somnus has some pure heroism. He comes in for the heroic play, finds a very nice blue hole, but it's also going to doom him because he's out of mana. Yule's up and very shortly out of options. Killed off by this JT Timber. The rest have tried to retreat. Operative word being try, because FY also gets used up into the air. Flame Break will push him back. They do not have a gem, but he has one, and they'll take it for themselves off of his corpse.
And guess what? Rosh is back. He's back home.
Hey.
Back again. He's got Refresher Shard. Tell your friend. They're going in. I mean, okay, I don't want to ruin that amazing team fight by my shitty rapping. This was really nicely done by XG. I feel like jumping the Keeper of the Light as well was 10 times better than jumping the Storm in that situation. The Storm had Chalice right next to him. They couldn't possibly kill off the Storm. If they jumped him, they probably would have used a couple of big spells, and then Kotal gets to do what he wants to. They have too much vision. Once again, XG, they adjust to the way they should play a fight. And, you know, it's so much easier said than done to not go on the Storm there. Maybe they didn't even see him because that was just way too good. The way it ended
the
out.
presence of mind, right? Because they pinged him, and then they were like, nah, let's not go around. It's exactly like you said. They knew Chalice was probably right behind him. DY, clutch Observer Ward that he plants down just before the fight breaks out. Gives them all the vision that they need.
Yeah. That ward was actually extremely important. And then they managed to even kill off Chalice. They didn't expect the amount of damage that came from the MKB. I think that was a huge deal too. Now Timber has an Aghanims as well. A bit of that armor to push in the barrier. The damage as well.
You know, speaking of the TB's itemization, not only did MKB surprised them with the damage outlay. I think during the blue hole, they thought they were going to put him a lot lower than he actually fell. But this butterfly is putting in work to keep him alive in these fights. Storm Spirit has Revenant's Bro, sure, but you won't always be perfectly positioned on top of the one target. And Revenant's Bro does have a duration. It ends.
Yep. It does, exactly. And Naga doesn't have an MKB and she won't be purchasing it, right? So Kaka is being hunted. Oh, he... Yeah. Yeah, he has a gem as well, so it's really bad.
You could have actually lived there, right? If he just kept running.
I'm not sure he knew that they were chasing him. He just chilled there. Took his time to enjoy the pool.
Hanging out in the lush waters of the Lotus Pool. Sadly, he's going to be hanging out in the lush waters of the fountain for a while he's respawning. And on Azure Ray, they did just pick up 2 Lincoln Spheres for the Storm Spirit as well as the Omni. Yo, man, Lasso is a really scary spell this game.
It truly is, yeah. It changes the fights completely. That's the only really reliable catch that they have. So they want to double down those Lincoln Spheres. You do have ways of breaking them, though. If you're bad, you have Force, you have Yules. So it's not that terrible.
Kaka Batrider. While he's cleaning up bottom, the rest of his team are posturing here onto the dire high ground. Or near the tier 2 tower area.
Smoke.
They really want to take this. But they realize where they're at on the Azure Ray and they smoke up. If they get here in time, they'll find them without Kaka. So this could be a 4v5 fight. Kaka did just pick up BKB. So it would behoove them to finish off this fight before the Batrider arrives. And look at this, JT, he's super far forward, but so is Ghost.
Paparazzi.
They jump to the back lines looking for Paparazzi, but he just dissimulates away. And now suddenly they're the ones that might have to watch their positioning.
Yeah, because Kaka is now coming from the back, right? And he has a BKB.
What's Kaka gonna do here? He has that BKB, he has Lasso, but they don't have vision clearly on the high ground because they did get dewarded. Tian Ming might have inadvertently saved this entire game with these dewards, and they will get themselves as far away from XG as possible.
Kaka, if he finds... Oh, if he found Omni-Knight, that would have been sick.
Now that he blinked back, though, that might invite Azure Ray to try and think about going in. The Yule's up onto this Timber Saw, but he's super tanky. 40 reactive armor charges right now, has Ags and Hearts. There's no way they kill him.
But they have to do something, though. The high ground is being pushed in. XG is really forcing this.
Glyph's already been popped. And now this tower is still falling. Big zip in from Somnus onto some heroes on the back with the global silence over it, but they can't find Kaka. Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. There's a Song of the Siren, but this was before BKBs. Kaka actually pops BKB. He wants to chase the Naga, but she does get kept alive on the high ground. The Trickster Cloak, making her a very unviable target, but they don't really care. They were here for the base first and foremost. It looks like they are going to at least get a tier 3 tower, maybe even more off the back of this.
Let's see. They probably want to get more, but meta is 50% out.
Harpoon play from Chalice onto Timbersaw. They're unable to put him down though. Timber, he's posting up right next to Ghost, who is about to run out of the Metamorphosis. Only a few seconds that remain at this point. He has Satanic already utilized as well. And with this Glyph, they should be able to save the racks. As meta should end. Somnus though goes in, finds a blue hole catch onto the Timbersaw. Do they have the necessary follow-up is the question. And so far the answer is no. He yules up into the air on the Timber. Still has half HP for himself. Triggers out the Agonins. Chains to the low ground. Still chased by Somnus, who finds 3 heroes with the blue hole. But where's the follow-up from Azure Ray? The Sunder from Ghost to ensure that JT is as healthy as possible. They even pop PKB from Chalice to try and make this happen. While all this is going down, they do end up losing the Aegis. Paparazzi does get himself hexed up. Somnus pulling back onto JT. They really want the Timbersaw, but he's still freaking alive. He has cheese now, pops it, and Paparazzi, he goes back into the fray. But as he does, Lou pops the song, and they allow the rest of Azure Ray to retreat into the base, but that might not include Lou, as he's now on the low ground here.
No,
but they're too scared to jump him.
Yeah, they'll let him go. They don't have a meta still. The only question is Somnus going to jump in again or not? I feel like we might finally see the end of this incredible engagement that lasted forever. Azure Ray, they survived. They survived the ages, they survived the cheese, they don't even lose a side. They don't even lose a hero, I believe, in that whole kerfuffle. Did they lose anyone?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, so
They did
overall,
not. They
yeah.
killed EY, but they didn't lose anyone.
They killed EY. They also forced the cheese usage. I love how in the moment XG is. They switch the cheese. While Timbersaw is Yuled up, they give him the cheese. He uses it. That's really nicely done to save him. But yeah, Azure, they're basically claiming that they are the ones to take these fights, that they're the ones that can take down targets. Meanwhile, XG, if they don't have meta, they just don't have the damage.
Metamorphosis is so important for them, for the damage output. But Xtreme Gaming, honestly, this series overall has been one of the most fun ones that we've had. The back and forth, these high ground defenses that actually don't even make sense. Just off of pure execution, you're able to keep your base alive, and both teams have done it multiple times across the games. So cool.
Yeah, the game is extremely close. One hero that's kind of unsung in the last couple of fights is probably Paparazzi and the Void Spirit. He's doing a lot of work, a ton of damage, a ton of control that he's bringing as well to his team. The good old Penta-edged sword definitely doing work as well.
Also been very smart about making sure to always try and find Tianming on the back edge of the fight. It's hard to do reliably, but been doing a fairly good job at it. Now with Roshan respawning soon on the nighttime side, they can just start putting some mines down for DY, protect the Twin Gate, and then start setting up for an Aegis and try to utilize it to finally get racks through top.
Yeah, that definitely seems like the plan. They can also, what's really nice is they can always force the defense, right, by spamming illusions down the lane. It's not that difficult, at least for Azure Ray to defend. They have some illusions of their own to combat that.
Yeah. Now I guess Siren.
Yeah, the lanes are also pushed in heavily, so XG, they need to think about sending someone down bot to defend.
Well, first they're going to send someone middle to fight because Kaka here with the crew, and they thought about jumping, but glad for them that they didn't because they did not see all the backup behind the swamp.
Yeah, and he has Arcane Rune. He had Arcane Rune at that point, so jumping him would have been, yeah, dangerous, to say the least.
Game still hanging very much in the balance. An 11k gold lead for Azure Ray. Experience is still in their favor as well, but not by much.
Okay, I think this item changes things a little bit. At least how they play the fights out on XG. On Azure, sorry. They got Swift Blink on Naga. So he has Swift Blink Hex. He can actually initiate together with the Storm. They can blow a target down so damn fast.
Another good item for XG. They picked up a Guardian Greaves for Teki, so he has a way past the Global Silence now. Chalice, he's the first one in the fight. Kaka's gonna look for him. Oh, Kaka doesn't find him. Beautiful Yule Scepter coming in immediately. The blue hole doesn't actually catch heroes. These BKBs will protect them. And now he's gonna be forced back. Chalice, pop the Guardian Angel in this engagement. With that, most of the Terrorblaze damage will be negated. He does still have a BKB and a Satanic in tow though, so not an easy customer. JT, Timber Chains away. And so far, nobody dead somehow. But this fight's not over. We've seen how long these engagements can carry on for. DY gets jumped upon, but he is still alive as well with the Glimmer Cape. And GG Boots also keep him up. We have a chase going down onto Chalice. Getting right-click down. There's no more GA. But there's also not that much control with the Bat Rider not having lasso and Paparazzi being too far north. So this fight, somehow, everybody's still alive. But XG, they're trying to retreat. Azure Ray doesn't want to let them go here, Liz. They keep chasing. Find a Hex now onto JT. Do they have what it takes to blow him up? No, they do not. Here they go onto Tianming. He gets kept alive as well by Chalice. And they find the song. Everybody caught here. Somnus looking for the blue hole. Will Ghost get off his BKB? Yes, he does. Blue hole will enable them to kill off the techies and the Bat Rider, but will enable him to escape as you have a buyback from Bat Rider. Paparazzi, him and Ghost going in onto Lou. Lou is still kept alive because Somnus gets off another clutch blue hole, but he's being chased by JT. Hex onto the Timber Saw. Luke hiding around for all he's worth. He is going to live. And they might just kill JT, and indeed they do. Somnus ending a killing spree on the Timber Saw is completely out of mana. But in this game, he is completely styling on them as well. They get the team fight victory here, Liz, and it looks like the path to Roshan is available for Azure Ray yet again in game 2.
It certainly is, and it's a beautiful fight that they took. This whole fight, this whole engagement, like a nice little dance that we were witnessing, back and forth, back and forth. Somnus being in the lead, though, together with Lou, I feel like one thing that they've got that Xtreme Gaming does not is they can stay in fights forever. They can refresh their stuff, right? Like, as long as global isn't used, they can just keep on fighting. Meanwhile, on the other hand, you have this meta. Terrorblade uses it, and he's kind of forced. The XG is forced to make an engagement, forced to get a fight going off. By the way, that Yules that we called out, it was Bat Riders, like he uled himself.
Oh no.
He wanted to break the Lincolns on Omni and ended up uling himself.
Oh no. That's the worst case scenario. I was wondering who bought Yules now on Azure Ray to turn that fight. But in the chaos of that engagement, I even sort of forgot about it. But yeah, that's completely correct. There's no Yules on Azure. Well, that sucks. These things happen. Because of what happened, it does lead to Azure Ray being on the high ground now. Chalice picks up an overwhelming blink for himself.
Yeah,
and Chalice is really problematic, dude. He doesn't die anymore. He's just... I'm starting to see why. Throughout this game, I see this wisdom now of this off-lane Omni with the harpoon.
It dawned on you. Dawned on all of us.
Just soaks up so much pressure. And with this Lincoln's here, I mean, nobody can get lassoed except if he's alive. And he's super hard to go on anymore. Tier 3 tower taken, and that's going to be now XG having to figure out a way to defend the base. Blue hole coming in yet again. They should go directly onto the Ghost, and they should be able to kill him off. BKB in a 4-staff away, barely keeps him alive, and he gets off Asunder onto DY. Now he wants to turn with right-click damage. Kaka finds an illusion with the lasso. The real hero is very safe on the other side of the base. Blast off from DY, connects onto multiple heroes. And they almost killed the techies, but the Song of the Siren actually saves his life. Somnus, though, looks like he wants to set up to kill him off regardless. With the blue hole, catching 3 heroes. Techies is gone. On the back edge of the fight, they need to escape with Paparazzi. But JT starting to run low on mana. And Paparazzi getting a bit in an awkward and precarious position as he watches Kaka die right in front of him. Papa at least trying to kill Chalice, but he gets blue hole together with the Terrorblade. Both of them will not be able to survive this fight safely. JT dies first. Somnus going back onto Paparazzi. Ghost doing his utmost to 1v9 here, but it cannot be done as Chalice, with the Hammer of Purity hit with the Aghanim shot, gets an ultra kill on Omni, secures game 2 for Azure Ray, and sends us to a deciding game number 3 in our major slot determiner.
Very well deserved.